Hi, this is Tanya from Love Buddha Tarot, back with the cards of today for the 10th of February 2017. Now, before we start, how many of you are actually feeling the effects of the moon yet? We've got the lunar eclipse sort of tonight. We've got the moon in Leo, I think it is. There's all sort of crazy mystic rectangles, and there's everything going on. I was actually doing all right with it. I was feeling it. I was really like, yeah, it's all coming because it's exciting what's happening moon wise. And I just wrote a couple of notes with the moon. This is it. It's like, right, okay, what's coming through? And then I went to pull the cards, and the second I pulled the cards, it's like somebody has pulled the plug on me, like completely. My energy just went poof. And I contemplated doing this reading because I don't like it when my energy's low. I don't like that, but I'm tapping into something or to someone or something. I don't know what it is. This is when you do this type of work. You do need to protect yourself a lot, and I do, and I always make sure I'm protected. And yesterday I actually snapped my bracelet, which is one of my main forms of protection. So maybe it's that, but literally as soon as I pick these cards up, that's it. I just feel very, very zapped. So if I fall asleep during this reading, I'm sorry, But anyway, I'll get on to the reading. I just wanted to say that before, because my energy probably won't be what it normally is. You'll probably see that. But if these cards are resonating for anybody, then please let me know, because like I say, I'm feeling an exhaustion here. I'm feeling like just, I'm just, what is going on? So if any of you are feeling like that, then this could be what it is, because there's very, very powerful energies around at the moment. So first of all, we'll talk about the moon, and the moon, is like I say, it's great. The energy with this, I was all excited for it. I'll be fine. I'll have a salt bath later, and then I'll be sorted. So this moon that we've got, and this lunar eclipse, this is all trying to guide us to recognize what it is that we truly want. We've had this pattern this week. The cards are a bit strange. One of them really coincides with what we've been talking about, but the other ones are a little bit strange. So the energies that are around at the moment, what they're doing they are like sort of pushing us to step into our truth, pushing us to step into our authentic selves, right? And they're asking us, I don't know if a lot of you have been thinking recently, but what they're doing, they're asking us to like reflect in our life, right? Look at areas, look at where we are putting our energy, where we are putting our focus, where our feelings and our thoughts, are going. Where, because a lot of times we tend to put them in situations that we feel that need them, and we neglect other situations because it's like, right, okay, well they don't need them. So it's sort of like, right, okay, what they're saying here, this is tying in with one of the cards, right? Okay, I now get it. I was sort of trying to find the connection there. So it's like things or people within our life can actually like steal our energy. So, and then what we do is we carry on giving more and more to that situation, whereas really that situation is not giving us any energy back. So this is how we feel depleted, and this is how we feel exhausted. Right, okay. This is all making sense now. Right, so what this is saying is like, take a look at your relationships. This could be with friendships, it could be with partners, it could be with family, it could be anything like that. And see, where are your sort of feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, where are they, where are you putting all of them towards? Because I really feel that this is I'm getting like having to put more in than what you're getting out, if that makes sense. um and what this moon is wanting us to do is, this moon is wanting us to take, like, to respect our wants and needs as well, And this is, it's not just about keeping everybody happy, because often when we do that and when we try and keep everybody happy, it's at the cost of our happiness. And that is not good, because when you are happy and you are in a good place, then you are better to those around you, because that, when you are happier, your energy is better and you can actually give more. But what I'm feeling with this is I'm really feeling this energy is being put into somewhere where it's like, it's sort of futile, if that makes sense. That's the word they're giving me there, which is quite interesting, because one of the cards is the Seven of Swords, and within the Thoth deck, it's actually called futility, right? Okay. So, what I'm feeling is I'm feeling there's quite an imbalance within personal relationships here. Anywhere where you are emotionally invested, I really feel there's an imbalance here, and it's draining. It's sort of like pulling the plug on you and feeling zapped. And this is not a good way to be, because when your energy's low, then your thinking gets low, then your mind goes low, and then you just go into this spiral, and your vibration really lowers. And what we're trying to do here, and what this moon is trying to do, and what the universe is trying to do at the minute, is raise our vibration and get it as high as it can. So, as I've said before, expect disruptions. This week I really feel it's like it's getting close to boiling point, if that makes sense. So what we need to look at here, and what I feel the message that's coming through here is, have a look at what creatively inspires you. Where is it where you feel this buzz of excitement, where you want to create something, where you want to get your hands dirty, you want to dive right in. What is it where you like can just do something for hours, and time just like disappears, because you're that engrossed in something. And I really feel, because you're putting this many thoughts, feelings, emotions into this other situation that they're talking about, that you yourself are being neglected, but also your creative needs are being disrespected as well. And creativity is key. There was a woman came to view my house today, and she had a look at one of the rooms, and she said, "Oh, the person who was with us said, oh, this will be a playroom," and she was like, "Yeah, but I'm going to do my art over there." And I was like, "Yeah, I want you to have my house," somebody that thinks like that. And she was actually putting her needs there as well, And this is what we need. So it's about recognizing exactly what it is we want. Now, what I'm getting with this is I feel sorry, over this weekend, I keep talking about this boiling point. I've spoken this week about this box blowing off and stuff like that. I really feel over this weekend there's going to be this strong urge to rebel, to kick back, anything that is stopping you from having fun, anything that is stopping you from doing what you want, it's like, I'm seeing somebody just sort of like Kill Bill style, like kicking the door in, and it's like, no, this is it. I'm going for my freedom, sort of like somebody that's been kidnapped or trapped in the cellar or something. And this is it. This is like a fight for freedom. This is what they're saying here. And I feel that there's going to be like I don't know if it's going to be like the straw that broke the camel's back thing. Something is going to happen, I feel, over the weekend or over the next week or so, right? Because we've got the lunar eclipse tonight, and then in 2 weeks' time we have the solar eclipse. So there's like a 2-week window, and I feel this is what is being spoken about here. So it's like I feel there's going to be this sudden eruption. It's like a volcano. It's just woof, and it's going to come coming out of nowhere. And all of this built up tension that I feel has been inside of you, this resentment, this everything like that, is just gonna, it's like it's things come bubbling to the surface, and then they come spewing out, so it's like you can feel them rising and rising and rising, then and it's gone. And I feel that this is going to cause a massive change in circumstances, like major change. We've talked about this week already. This is it. There could be sudden, abrupt ends, and it's sudden, it's poof, right, like I say, blowing your top sort of thing, you know. I don't. I'm not really one for losing my temper. I very rarely do, and I get very upset at myself if I do, because it's not something I like. I have a hell of a temper on me, but I lose my temper about once a year, and I do that, and I don't like it, and anything that causes me to do that, I just can't be around, because it takes me to a place that I don't like to be. But usually when I do lose my temper, it's because I've been keeping things in, and they get to this point where it erupts, and it takes over. And what I'm getting here, right? Okay, what they're bringing in here, it's sort of like I'm feeling like there could be this sort of like primal scream. This is what I'm getting. There's this like I talked about the scream the other day, didn't I? Because I mentioned this work that I'd done, this self-portrait I'd done, where I was screaming. And yeah, so it's like this primal scream. It's like really coming from the depths of your soul, and all of this pent up emotion and whatever, just poof. It's just, it's coming, and it's coming with force as well. And what I feel with this is the more restricted that you have felt, the more like, yeah, the more like upsetting this is going to be, the more you're going to blow up. So the more you've been restricting yourself, it's just gonna it's gonna come flying to the surface, I feel. So expect fireworks. This is what I'm saying. I have got the cards for the weekend to do as well, so we'll see where they're going. But like I say, it's this energies. It's like a colliding. This is what I'm saying. Now, I mean, I'm not meaning violence or anything like that, so please don't worry about this, because what this is going to be a massive, yeah, air clear, and this is needed, I feel, because I feel, like I say, this repression that has been around is just, it's eating away and eating away, and like I say, it's going to come to a head. But if we think, of sort of like a spot or a pimple or a boil, once it bursts, this is when we get some relief, because all of the pain that was there is released in some way. So like I say, don't be worried about this, but there's going to be some fireworks, I think, here. And what I feel this is connected with is, it's like we're finally telling the truth to ourselves, okay? And we're finally deciding not to put up with the lies that other people are telling us as well, because often we can do that, because it's quite easy to sort of mask behind things. But like I say, this is sort of, it's showtime. This is what I'm saying, and I really feel there's a lot of things going to be disclosed. A lot of things are going to be said, and a lot of things are going to come to the surface as well, and why this is happening is, I really feel, because there needs to be a massive closure. This is it. Something needs to be left behind, and by doing it in this way, that means, yeah, it's going to be, so this is about, it's about like digging up something from the roots, like pulling it out from the root. When we have like we have weeds and that in the garden, and we pull them up, and then 2 days later they're back again. That isn't working this time. This is about going in, and sometimes you've got to torch them, you've got to burn them, haven't you? And this is what is, I feel, is happening. It's like the roots are being dug up, so that there's no going back. There's no sort of regrowth with this as well. But what this is doing, this is leaving the soil fertile, so that we can plant new seeds. So it's like clearing away of something to actually allow something new nurture and develop as well. Now we have a mystic triangle, rectangle, sorry, mystic rectangle. Doesn't that sound fabulous? Because there is a lot of magic in the air as well at the moment, and this is allowing us to see our dreams. It's allowing us to feel this inspiration. Um, and I do feel like I say this could be over the next 2 weeks period as well. And what it's saying, this mystic triangle, like I say, there's all the magic involved in it, and it's saying to us that we can live our dreams, we can have the dreams that we want, you know. But we need to put the hard work in to actually manifest them. It's not just going to happen. We need to actually make changes, and remove obstacles that are stopping us from doing this. Now, it's saying that it's giving us positivity. It's the universe is telling us this is what it wants us to do. But we all have free will, so it's up to us, as individuals, whether we're going to do that or not. Yes, it's in the unknown, and we've talked about this a lot. But it's like now, it's like your dreams are there, and they're saying, look, they're there. You can go out and get them. There's an old Arab proverb, and it's throw your dreams out in front of you and then run to catch them or something. And that is what is happening here. Now, like I say, we're being given the red light to do the green light to do this, but if we put the red light on this, then there's nothing we can do apart from stand and watch these beautiful dreams that we had just like sort of dissolve, and just watch them like slip away. So this is what I feel this energy is about at the moment. It's like giving us, look, you want it, go out and get it. You don't want it, it's gonna go. So this is it. And when I was traveling in Asia, I met an old guy. He was a great guy, very wise. And he said to me one day, a man without dreams is a man without a future. And I love that, and I've kept it with me a lot of times, when I've wanted to give up on my dreams. But I've always thought about that, and it's like, no, my dreams are in my future. My future is my dreams. And it's hard. Sometimes it's hard plowing through it, but the only way we are going to get through this is to go through it. We cannot divert, we cannot go around it. There's no easy route. It's about going through it. Okay? So sorry that went on for a bit. That is what I feel the moon's energy is at the moment. And now we'll get on to the cards. So the first card I got, don't like this card at all. It's the Seven of Swords. Now, the Seven of Swords, it always indicates sneakiness, it's trickery, and what this card, when I picked it up, it's like, where is there cunning and sort of sneakiness within your life? Where is it where something's going on, and you might not be able to put your finger on it, but that it's not all is what it seems as well. And I do feel that there is hidden agendas around this as well. What I'm getting with this, what I got, it's sort of like an invasion. Now, I don't know if this is invasion of privacy, because often this card can mean somebody is spying on you as well, sort of like in a stalkery type fashion, or, watching over your shoulder or watching every move, so there's like I say, there's mistrust with this card, because it's not a good card. And I always say when this card comes up, be very careful about trust and where you're putting your trust at the moment, because it's not good. Now, the way I'm looking at his belt as well, if we see that there, it's sort of like, I feel that there's restrictions, so there's yeah, them restrictions, around this as well. And it's like I say, it's I feel like these two are like on guard, watching. It's just not a nice card. And often within this card as well, it's seen as a thief, somebody who's stealing something. Now, this is what I said when I started talking at the beginning, what was interesting, because it was like, sort of stealing something around you, taking what is yours. Now, I don't feel this is in the physical sense, it's not like watch your wallet, it's not that. It's taking something what is yours, and this could actually be your dreams, That's what they're bringing in here. This could be somebody trying to take your dreams away from you, and if you have them, then you have nothing. So it's taken something away from you. There's a lot of shadows, something lurking in the shadows here. I'm getting what's the song? You know, we're talking about a lot of creativity here and stuff like that. And I'm saying that by giving this attention here, it's missing something else. And there's a song, I'm not even going to sing it because my singing voice is terrible. I'm trying to think what the song is. I think it's Tavares. Tavares, yeah, Tavares. Don't take away my music. It's the only thing I've got, right? Yeah, okay. So this is our creativity. You know, music is linked into the creativity, you know, bubble sort of thing. You know, it's one of the arts. So, you know, this could be somebody, you know, like when I used to work as an artist, it was, you know, it was a lot of my creativity was took away when you were having to work to guidelines for other people, or, you know, doing a commission for somebody that you weren't feeling it, you know. And it was, yeah, you know, it might have sort of paid the bills that month, but it was costing me a bit of my soul by doing it, you know. So, like I say, and that's it. And if we think of a world without music, you know, it's what is it now? That's just reminded me. She's been on my mind a lot today. I need to actually message. To when I was saying there, to think of a world without music, there was a girl I went to school with, and she was born deaf. And one day I was talking to her over Facebook. We met up again, and she was on about she was saying she'd never heard music. And I said, but what are you talking about? Like, we could talk, we used to communicate at school. And she said, yeah, I could lip read and I heard certain tones, but I'd never heard music. So a couple of months later, she then got in touch with me and said she was going to have the operation. She would be able to hear again at like 40-year-old. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. But it really made me think about my life when I had this conversation that she'd never heard music. It really made me think about my life without music in it. And I actually sat and cried all day. You know, I put all of my old songs on, all of the stuff that meant something to me. And, you know, I realized how much a big part of my life it had been. The story goes on anyway, but I'll just cut it brief. She then got in touch with me and asked me what to pick the first song that she would ever hear. And it's a big one. I mean, there's that many songs, isn't there? You know, and everything means something to us personally. But to pick that, it was quite was an honor, but it was, you know, it was quite daunting as well. And I just went with the first thing that came into my mind, and it was "Imagine" by John Lennon. This girl is now massively famous. She's all over the world, and she's working with the Osmonds as well now. You know, so it's done amazing for her. But this is quite interesting that I've brought that story up there, because it's imagine, you know, imagine, and this is it. It's our imagination. This is our dreams. Our dreams are in our head, you know. So we've got to go with them, you know. What we think about, we can bring about. If we go there in the mind, we will go there in the physical, you know. So like I say, there's something here that is trying to take, I don't know if it's like trying to take the fun out of your world, trying to take, like I say, I feel the creativity, you know, away with this. Now, it's like I say, I don't like this. What I want to say when I'm looking at this as well, I feel like this could be why this is happening this weekend, right? Because I feel like I'm looking there and it's like he stumbled. So I feel somebody could slip up, you know, or a slip of the tongue or something like that. That's where I'm getting slip. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, it's slippery, yeah, but I feel somebody is going to slip up and you're going to suddenly be like, really? You know, so there's an awareness is going to come about. And I think this is when there's this blow up gonna be as well, you know. So like I say, be very, very careful where you trust. Be very careful what you are letting somebody take from you, even if this is your energy. And just beware of what is lurking in the shadows, because there's something not good there, I feel. So then the Osho card is control here. And you know, this is saying it's like I say, I don't like this card. I don't like the cards today. Like I say, the stuff about the moon was great, but really don't like the feeling of these. And obviously, like I say, I picked them and I'm just, I'm zapped. So this is saying, look at your life as well, and where are you trying to control things, because what this is doing is keeping you rigid. There is no flow in this card as well, so it's like you need to allow things to unfold naturally rather than fighting against them. This could also be somebody putting control on you, and feeling very controlled as well, because there's just not a nice feeling here. Now, if this is you putting the control on yourself and the restrictions on yourself, what it's saying here is like, it's sort of, when we surrender, this is when miracles happen, and then this is when things start to flow, So it's saying if you are putting these restrictions, then let them go, because what's happening, we've got a lot of light here, which is all spirit, and he is that closed off in there that it's not actually letting them come through. Now, I don't know why this is relevant, but when I'm looking at him there, what I'm seeing is like, seeing sort of like a photocopier. So it's right, a photocopier going over the same old thing, same old, same old, same old, same old, same old. So it's like, I don't know if this is words that you're telling yourself, or words that are imprinted on your mind, or what, but it's printing. And I also, it looks like blinds, like sort of Venetian blinds. So it's like, it's cutting things off. So there's a lot of, like I say, a lot of restrictions in this as well, and like I say, there's this rigidity around it, and it's not good. Now, Osho says about this card that rigid, controlled people are always nervous because the turmoil is inside them and it's hidden. They're not allowing it out, So if you are controlled, you are like sort of rigid, you're nervous, you're tense, When you are uncontrolled, you are flowing, you're alive, and then you're not nervous, So what he says as well, Osho, is to control that mind, one has to remain so cold and frozen that no life energy is allowed to move into your limbs or into your body. If energy is allowed to move, these repressions will surface. That's why people have learned how to be cold, how to touch others and yet not touch them, and how to see people yet not see them. That's interesting with saying the blinds there. So, like I say, this is about, and this is why I feel if something is that tense and that rigid, it's going to crack. It is going to crack. And this is what I feel. Like I say, I do feel there's this blowout this weekend. His hands are like clenched tight. It's like white knuckles, they're tense that much. So, like I say, I feel these tensions are going to rise to the surface and erupt. Now, the Colette Baron Reid card, which I picked, is quite interesting as well, because this is called Between Two Worlds. Now, we've talked about that this week, and this is what I'm saying. It's the battle with doing what you should, battle with doing what you want, and like I say, this is all coming to a head. It's all like accumulating, and it's there, ready to pop. And what this card is talking about, it's the transition. Now, if we have a look, here's like the grey world with one foot in it, right? Then there's one foot in this lovely, colourful world with the blue skies, So it's like the clouds in this. This is all worries, trouble, turmoil. But the clouds are dispersing when you actually get into there. But it's about being stuck in the middle of them, So this is where I feel like a lot of people are at the moment. They're stuck between the two. And this is, like I say, when we're going through a transition, it is very hard to actually go through it. But this is like being in no man's land, It's just being in limbo as well. And we need to let go of what was in order to see what will be, and we don't know that yet, we don't know what's there. But I want to say expect the unexpected, because there's twists and turns and magic happening and stuff like that at the minute. So, be prepared. Spirit are, like I say, are being quite crafty, but in a good way. So there is no certainty when we go into the new, or go into something new, or go into uncharted territory. But we need to explore it, and this is what I feel we're being pushed away from. The comfort, the what we knew, and into, right, we've got to delve into this new world, Now, The interesting thing about this is flamingos. Now, if we have a look at the flamingo in this card, in this side where that leg is, that flamingo is white, whereas in this one it's the beautiful pink. Now, flamingos are the pink colour because of the foods that they eat. You know, I don't know if many of you knew that. I thought it was fascinating when I first found it out. When a flamingo doesn't get the right food, so when the flamingo doesn't get the right nourishment, what happens is she turns white, you know, and she loses her vibrancy, and it's like losing the will to live, because a lot of times when they turn white, you know, they're not getting the nourishment they need. And the same as us, if we don't get fed or whatever, we starve, and then, you know, we know the outcome. So what this is saying is, like, you know, the color is there, there's no color there, you know. So this card is saying you need to get some color back into your life. And this is what I'm talking about with this creativity and stuff like this, you know. So they are tying in together, these cards, you know, but in a very strange way. So if we have a look at this as well, if when we see flamingos, I mean, that flamingo there has a crown on its head, and this is the king, you know, isn't it? It's like, you know, the flamingo is the king, and we call a lot of flamingos a flamboyance of flamingos. You know, they're amazing. They're like sort of the Liberace's of the animal kingdom as well. And when you look at a totem animal with a flamingo, it's about creativity as well, you know. So it's like I say, this is saying, you know, you need to inject some color back into your world, you know. You cannot live in a world that's black and white. You can't, you know, because there's so much color out there to see, to experience. You think of something that's colorful. If you look at food and you look, say you get like sort of I once read a diet and it said eat nothing that is brown or beige. So if you get a plate of, think about when we're in prisons and we used to get gruel, right, the old gruel stuff, and it was this murky, beigey, grey, horrible food, that is not appetizing at all. You look at a salad, you know, that's got all of the reds and the yellows and the greens and stuff like that. It looks appetizing. You know that is going to nourish you. The same with colors, you know, within life. You know, look at plants, look at, you know, stuff like that. Look at how beautiful autumn is when the colors change. You know, color is needed in our life, and this is saying you need to take this foot that is still stuck in this grey, black and white world and actually venture out into this unknown, you know, but unknown, where you will get this vibrancy, you will get this excitement, you will feel this creativity again, you know. That is what this is saying. So if we have a look, I don't know if you can see that, because there's little like sort of streamers for celebrations and that there as well, but there's also a little kingfisher there with there. Now the kingfisher indicates peace. That it's a symbol for peace. So it's saying when you get to this world, all of these clouds and this turmoil, this inner turmoil that you're experiencing, will go, you know, because the reason you're experiencing this turmoil and stuff like that is because you are in disharmony. You know, when I talked about yesterday, the vibrate with the cosmos, you know, and when you are in harmony with the cosmos, everything flows. When you are in disharmony, you get all of this turmoil. And that's it. By taking that step, you know, forward, which I do feel like I say, because of this moon, it's going to force things, you know, this is when you will actually find peace. And the kingfisher is also about, like, it's sort of spiritual activity, you know, mental activity, the mixture of the two. So it's about creating, you know, and tapping into spirit. And this is when we are truly living, when we're doing that, you know. And this is when we will manifest, and this is when we can go after these dreams, and this is when we believe in them. So it's a real spiritual symbol, the kingfisher, about tapping into our intuition as well. And it is telling us not to be scared of new things. Don't be scared of something that we don't know, you know, because, you know, eventually that will become familiar, you know. It's just, the unknown, there's a lot of fear around that. But, you look at your first day at school, how terrifying it probably was. And then within a week, you'd made new friends and you were all fit in. And then, it was like second nature. Then you were showing the kids around the next year, and telling them there was nothing to worry about. So anything that is new is scary. But, if we don't experience that, we get stuck in this black and white grey world. And that is, it's not a good place to live. So I hope those cards made sense to you. I'm sorry they weren't happier cards, but I've got to read what's there. I feel like this has been a bit disjointed, this reading, but I feel a bit disjointed. Like I say, I'm dying to put them away, do a little bit cleansing, and be back to Tanya again, because I'm definitely tapping into something there. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I'll have the singing bowl out in a second, cleansing my chakras and stuff. But I hope you like those cards. If anybody is experiencing this, please let me know as well, because like I say, what I found is absolutely lovely. Somebody put that they were having a problem on one of my videos the other day, and before I'd got a chance to answer it, somebody else had jumped in and actually give them advice. And this is what I want these to be. It's lovely, meeting the new people, everybody sharing their stories, but also intermingling as well, so people communicating with each other and not just through me. I found that really, really beautiful. So thank you for that. I think it was it Zen Keith or Keith Zen? I'm not sure, but yeah, he done that, and I thank you for that. That really, really made me smile. So like I say, please let me know. I love reading your comments, and if we're all here to help each other through this as well, we're all pretty much in the same boat, because when you are open spiritually, this is when things are affecting you more. And most of you who are watching these, we're all in the same boat. So if we can help each other on the way, then that is great. And this is what I do this for. It's like I say, to help. So if anybody would like a reading with me, please get in touch. I think there might be some needed as well, because like I say, navigating these moon's energies, it always comes in a big strange. But as I've said, the only way you can get through this is to go through it. You've got to just face it and go through it, and you will come out the other side. Okay, so have an absolutely fabulous day. If you've got crystals, put them out in the moonlight tonight. They'll be really heavily charged. I've got all of mine ready. What I often do as well is put them in a glass of water, and leave the water outside, and then drink the water. Then the following morning, that's really, really good. It sort of invigorates you. So yeah, any of you doing full moon rituals or anything like that, then get manifesting, because this is a time to make your dreams reality. And even if you do blow your top here, this is a release that I feel is needed. Okay, so don't worry too much about it. Okay, send you all a lot of love today as well. I think it's needed. I really think it's needed. So I'll be back with the cards for the weekend. Satnam.